Welcome to In the Zone with TNS. This is Tony.
And this is Stephanie.
Let's get started.
Okay, so I've had this topic on my mind for like the past couple of months, and I've been asking all our friends about it. So, if you could go back in time and relive a decade, which decade would you choose and why?
I would choose I think like the '90s. I grew up. Well, I was born in the '90s, right? And then I enjoyed a little bit of the '90s, but I would like to live it like in like my teenage years, where technologies like start booming, having like cassette players, DVD players, or AKA Walkmans. In addition to like enjoying the old school like cartoons and animes. What about you?
Honestly, I don't know why, but every time I watch any like movie or series that's based in the 80s, I feel like this nostalgia for some reason. I don't know, like I feel like I experienced life in that time, in like a past life, I think it'd be nice to live in a time period with no technology. Like nowadays we can go anywhere because we have GPS, but back in the day people would have to use maps. I think that'd be pretty cool. And just like not being able to talk to your friends until you're in school, or by phone calls. Nowadays you can just text them or like FaceTime them, and it's really easy to communicate with each other even through like social media. You send each other memes, you send each other like messages. So I think it'd be pretty cool to experience life with no technology back in the day.
I think it's pretty crazy that technology has like come up from like scratch, like 100 or 200 years, no, probably like 100 years ago. Like we didn't have like this kind of electricity, this kind of like roads that we have, cars, cell phones. Shoot, maybe like a pen, like a modern day pen or pencil at that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like to think that everything comes from something, everything's just a collection of different inventions. You had to invent something to be able to invent something else with
Like a
it.
product
You know what I
or
mean? Does it?
services,
Yeah.
yeah. And then like people have put like so much effort, like people use their whole life just to study one thing, and then like it's just somebody's idea and people just like study it and then have the little twist on it, and then it make new advances in like technology.
You know what? I saw this TikTok about how in the past people had like already have like technology that's quite advanced, but like our government is basically like hiding it from us. It was like a lot of pictures of different machines in the past that seemed really futuristic for its time, you know?
What if it's like time travel and people like landing like in different universes and parallel worlds where like that to them is like super high like technology. For example, like it could be like a car, and it is like back in the future, like you you turn it on, and then you can go in the past or you can go in the future with that machine. But then like somebody else could come in with like a horse because some kind of phenomenon might have happened, and then like they show up in like our
So,
time
hey,
periods.
so do you think that when people go back to in time and they switch something that causes like the Mandela effect?
I
You
feel
know
like
what I
it
mean?
could like
Like
where
it's
it's like
just a
it's like a
butterfly effect.
yeah, it's like
If you change
or
something from the past, it's gonna like change everything. So that's why some things are different.
I feel like it's a domino effect where like it's just not one like direction. It opens up many destinies for everybody. It's like where like you do one thing and then it leads to like
Another
and another and just keep on going like a cycle and infinitely.
interesting. Okay, so bringing up like being able to go back in time and stuff. Um, if that's possible, do you think it's also possible that reincarnation exists?
To a extent where like we can remember certain things or like maybe even how we died, because I remember seeing a video online where like this person said that like they remember how they got killed, or like even like find the killer in a sense.
Really?
2 seconds later.
I've seen some videos about this kid that remembers his past life, and he tells his mom about his past life and how he was a African American woman, and the mom searched up the kid's like the information the kid was giving her, and it was all true. Like he remembered so many details, and when she like fact checked them, it turned out to be like the truth.
What if it like time travel and then
Time
it's
travel.
himself but younger?
No, but he was a woman in his past life.
Dang, shoot. But maybe like the traveling back to that part
That makes
could
sense.
change your sex because we don't know like how it works.
You serious?
Baby, no, I don't think that's how it works. I mean, I feel like that's a possibility, but for a different theory. I don't think
But
it,
also,
like,
or maybe it's themselves,
goes
but in like
together.
a past life or something.
Stop it. Get some
You
help.
get what I'm saying?
no.
Like you know, it could be you could be reincarnated into like an animal or like an insect, but you're lucky enough to become a human again. But what if you reincarnate into like a different sex or like the opposite gender?
Bringing up how you can reincarnate not only as humans but as animals, why do you think that is? Do you think people reincarnate as animals as a punishment for something they did in their human life, and that's why their new reincarnation is an animal instead of a human?
I feel like it could be that could be a good scenario. But what if it's like we each have a turn at being one thing in our life and we just go through a cycle? But it could be random or
Do
it
you
could
think we
be
reincarnate with trees?
trees, plants.
Yeah.
It could be a possibility. I can see where like plants grow around certain things, like molded into like a building or like growing out of nowhere and then like wrapping around a building like vines.
Yeah. The next thing is like, if reincarnation's real and you're able to pick your race for your next life, what race would you choose, or would you reincarnate in the same race again?
I would reincarnate to become in the same race
Mm-hmm.
just to see how it is in different generations, like how they grow up and stuff like that, and then see where I'm at in the chain, the ancestral chain. And then also, I wouldn't mind like changing races just to experience others people hardships and
But
to
which
start a life.
race would you choose?
What race?
Yeah.
I think like Hispanic.
I feel like he was Mexican in his past life, honestly. He eats more tortillas than I do.
Do I?
You do. And
What-
he loves salsa, he loves tacos. I don't know.
You mean tortilla chips?
Oh yeah, chunky salsa with tortilla chips is his favorite.
I mean, I like Mexican salsa, but add a little chunky in there. Ooh, that'd be like a little crunchy and I don't know, just a texture thing to me.
Honestly, I think I would still be Hispanic. You know? Like, I wouldn't mind coming back as another, like, Hispanic race, maybe, or maybe, like, Brazilian, you know?
So that's like Latin.
Yeah, Latino.
That'd be pretty cool too. Like Asian and Latin cultures are really intriguing. I find them really fascinating. How like a lot of stuff is they have in common compared to like other races.
I know, right? Like, I feel that both Mexican and Chinese cultures value family a lot, and we have a lot of the same values.
Especially like if you're like a male, they kind of spoil you a little bit more.
That's so true. They spoil the eldest male. Well, I feel like they always spoiled like the oldest son, oldest.
Well,
either one.
it could be like the women too. I mean the girls too, where like some family aren't as traditional. And then,
No. Because I feel like at least in Hispanic culture, even if the girl is like the eldest, that doesn't matter. Like, they still have to be home at a certain time. They're more strict on the girls than the guys. Like I have this friend, she's the well, two of my friends, they're like the eldest, but their parents were always strict on them. But when it came to their little brothers that were like 3 years younger, they were able to go out, be out really late. They would come home, they wouldn't get yelled at. But if they like came home like at a later time, they would get yelled at. Like, make it make sense. Why can guys be able to do things and women can't?
I guess it's like the stigma where like, um, if a girl gets pregnant, they get pregnant, and then like guys can't get pregnant, so it's like a double-edged sword in a sense. Does that make sense?
But it has nothing to do with like getting pregnant or not. Sometimes girls just want to go out to hang out with friends and have a little bit of fun. It doesn't always have to lead to pregnancy.
Yeah, but like just think about like if you had a kid and then there was a girl and then there was a boy, you would let the boy stay out a little longer or like be more lenient. Not in a sense where like it's like a significant amount of time, but like more lenient on the guy than the woman, you know, or yeah, right.
So if you have a daughter and a son, you're gonna let him do more stuff than the girl?
I wouldn't say do more stuff. Like I would limit their interaction, but then like
The
as
girls more than the guys?
but as they grow older, educate them on like why we would like do this and
No, but you're saying that the guy's gonna be able to do more things then.
just a little bit, but
Why?
like
Like what?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
or just like stay out like a little later with his friends, but not
Oh.
sleep over.
Yeah, no sleepovers. We're not doing sleepovers at all. Another little subtopic about reincarnation. Do you think that when people have deja vu, it's because they're remembering something they experienced in their past life?
I feel like in a sense that it is because for example, we're like I don't know, it's like the future or maybe the past where like I know how I die in a sense.
Oh yeah, he's told me before he's experienced the same dream a couple times and he feels that that's how he died in a past life. Personally, I've never had deja vu, so it sometimes leads me to believe that maybe this is my first life, you know what I mean? Cuz I saw this Korean drama called is it The Goblin or Goblin?
Goblin?
Goblin. And do you know how they were talking about like reincarnation and stuff and like having like your first life and like more lives? I feel like this is my first life because I've never experienced deja vu. I've seen videos on YouTube and like
Meditation.
yeah, basically meditate and think about your past life. I don't know if it's because I can't focus and like my brain's all over the place while I'm doing it, but I'm never able to do it. And
Sure, I don't blame you because like I feel like as we grow older, especially with this technology, it render us like make us like slower and have shorter attention spans and everything is like we have to have it now and it's like instant, and then I feel like more people are getting easily angered in a sense sometimes. Like if something doesn't
because
load
they're
up,
overstimulated.
yeah, overstimulated, and then they have to get this like high off of like technology and information that's it's like at our fingertips.
I don't know. Do you think social media has caused people to have more like mental illnesses in a sense? Because they're more like exposed to things that in the past they wouldn't be exposed to, like
The spread of
being
information.
bullied online, like having so much information, like
Yeah,
having access to so many things that could potentially like be bad for you. Do you think it has a correlation or
Yeah, I feel like it does have a correlation where like things are easily manipulated as well. Like if you leave something out of information, it can turn into this scenario, that scenario. in a sense.
I don't know. I also feel like it opened a gate for people to be exposed to certain things that in the past they wouldn't be exposed to, and maybe if they weren't exposed to those things, they wouldn't have to experience some like awful things in life. You know, like how like children meet strangers online. Like if the internet didn't exist, maybe that wouldn't have happened to them. You know what I mean?
But in a sense, like, what if looking up online and meeting these kids or a way to you can track them instead of like back in the day, you're just like, oh, we have a job opening, come over here at this address or this area, and then like what if it's like a setup too, you know, and they get like attacked like that too, but they don't say something because they're traumatized or have like PTSD.
Shoot, I don't know. I feel like the internet is both like a blessing and like a curse at the same time. Like it has its good and its bad, you know. Just thinking about how it's opened so many different jobs for people. Who would have thought like 10 years ago or like 15 years ago that people would have a job in like YouTube making videos, you know, being influencers, have selling stuff online. Like who would have thought? Back in the day it was just like, oh, I want to be like a nurse, I want to be a teacher. No one would really be like, I want to be a YouTuber, you know? I feel like nowadays when you ask kids, they're like, oh, I want to be a TikToker, I want to be a YouTuber. You know what I mean?
I feel like that is the country's fault in a sense, where yeah, everything is like more open. We get a lot of information. Most of it's like not censored, and compared to other countries where like some stuff are really like censored and stuff like that, so it doesn't like cause like riots and like stuff where like it could be propaganda, and then if it's like swayed one way, it can cause movement.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with what I was talking about?
Little technical difficulties. She had to take care of something. Onto the topic on why children and adults or anybody become YouTubers and TikTokers is because like in today's society, people want to do less and get paid more, and it's like that for any job. It's like if the job is easier and they make a little bit more change, why not hop on it, you know? That's today's society, just hopping left and right. It's easy money in a sense where everybody's trying to do it. And some people are just doing it as like a hobby or a way to let out or vent out or express themselves. It's pretty creative sources and platforms that releases tensions from daily life. That's why I think. That's it for the podcast. Until next time, in the zone with TNS. This is Tony.